What's up, everybody? This is Josh. You read Practical Theism. I'm about to head into work doing a quickly morning reflection on John 7 because that was the gospel reading today. We see on very, very clear display Jesus associating himself with his divinity. So Jesus basically calling out that he is one with God. And notice, too, what Jesus does. This is very interesting. He never explicitly comes out necessarily and says, hey, I'm God. Hey, it's me, God in the flesh. I became incarnate. He always calls it out in a very, very kind of Jewish way in Jewish context. And so I think that's a really interesting point to kind of look at. But what I wanted to point out today, something that you see a lot of, and I think even a lot of Christians and you know, fall into this trap as well, of just kind of focusing on Jesus as this good spiritual teacher, this moral, upright guru on the level of the Buddha or, you know, Plato or Socrates, or, you know, just this person that's got some good principles that you could follow, but it's kind of optional. And I think that to do that, it misses the strongest point of God coming in the flesh, namely that Jesus is the Son of God. He is God himself manifest in the form of a man. He is fully human and fully divine. And this is something that to miss that's what sets the gospel message of Christianity apart from all the other world religions. Everything else talks about, you know, balance and a lot of the social aspects. And to be fair, like, those are super important, and those are things that I think are a good way in. That's one of the things, for example, that makes the most sense to me. Like, and that's, I like talking about those aspects because they just make sense. It makes sense about having a balanced life and how that leads to ultimate fulfillment and happiness. And that it's a path to fulfillment and happiness. But the Christian message is so much stranger than that. It's so much stranger than that, in that it is the message of God incarnate, God coming down in the form of a man to us. And I think one of the reasons why we can tend to overlook this or miss this in today's culture is we have lost and are losing a sense of the fact that we are spiritual beings too. We're not just material beings. And I think in the measure that we look at ourselves as just material beings, it's easy to look at somebody like Jesus and say, yeah, he's just an upright spiritual teacher, but there's this whole other thing that's happening or that's going on the other side of the veil, if you will, on the spiritual side, the soulful side. And so I think it's important that we understand that it's not just the spiritual. We're not just material beings, we're spiritual beings as well. So there's a whole other component that because of Christ coming into the world, that we have the ability to come to know and understand and enter into relationship with the God and the creator of the universe, and ultimately leading us back to full communion. So I think that we need to be very careful. I think it's a good way to, you know, the social aspect is a really good way, and the practical aspect is a great way to kind of get people into understanding the, you know, some of the tenets of the faith and that are very, very real and actual and true. But we cannot miss and overlook these opportunities, such as in John 7, where God is clearly calling out his association with God the Father, and really calling out his divinity. Because at the end of the day, Jesus isn't just some moral spiritual teacher. Jesus is God himself in the flesh, come down to scoop us up, rescue us out of our sins, and point us back to God the Father in a very real and tangible way, and give us all the assistance that we need to persevere in that. So think about that week. That's going to be my meditation for today and my prayer today. Let me know your thoughts on that. And if you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. Let me know what questions you're having today. I hope you're enjoying the readings. And until next time, we'll catch you then. Thanks.